Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest show on North, the Millionaire Mindsets Podcast. I am your host, Xavier, and today I got another amazing episode for y'all. But before we get started, I would like to advise all our listeners to watch us. Please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, review, do all those things. Y'all know we're trying to run those numbers up. So if y'all could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And getting right to the show, today I got a very special guest, man. He's been on the show before. I'm glad to have him back. He's killing it. He's the founder and owner of Black Millionaires. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with the channel. Y'all see their content everywhere. He's going crazy in the media space, so I'm super excited to have him. Welcome back to the show. It's my guy, James here. What's good, bro?
What's up, man? Hey, listen, every time I'm in the city, man, I'm pulling up on you.
You already know, man. We had to get it done, man.
Let's get it done. Late night. It's a
late
night
right?
episode.
This is a late night, too. You know, people get to talking crazy at nighttime, so ain't no telling what to expect from this one. But let's get straight to it, man. So last time we had a crazy episode, but I want to start off with this because I seen you talk about this on Twitter, and I feel like this is a good starting point. You said that when you, I'm paraphrasing it, but basically you said when you 20, people see you as handsome, but when you 30, ain't no such thing as a 30-year-old handsome guy. You either rich or you broke. That's it. Like, just break that. Like, what you mean by that, and break that concept down.
So when you're young, bro, like it's a lot of things that kind of have a strike against you.
Right.
Like for people who don't know, like I'm short as hell, right? So, bro, I'm short as hell. So like that was kind of a strike against me growing up when I was young. Like girls like the tall dudes or this or that. But like once I started getting paid, bro, like it seemed like all girls just all of a sudden like short dudes. Like they just like, I haven't been rejected in years and I'm not looking. So like, don't be all in my DMs or whatever, but like women really be pressing up on it. And then I just be like, of course she pressing up on it. Like I'm doing my thing. Like I got my business going and all that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I always tell my friends, if I was probably like, I was real good at basketball and I had to be real good because I was short, I was small. Right. So I had to have, my IQ was real high. I was a great leader, had good vision on the court or whatever. So I had to be so much better. But a lot of my friends who were like 6'1", 5'8", 5'10", they was kind of larger for their size and bigger than me. They didn't have the same drive and passion to actually put in the skill and get good at their craft. So now they thought they was gonna go to the league or go to college or whatever. I don't know why at 6'1" that they just automatically thought they was gonna go to the league.
Everybody,
but like, that's kind of like one of those things where your looks or your size or something superficial about you can get you in the door. But once you get older and you 30 and it's like, bro, people got real bills. Like people got real things they want to buy. Like they need an asset to be in their presence. So fuck all of that trying to look good. Get your bread right, bro. I always tell young guys, like right now you might be struggling trying to get girls. You might be, bro, all of that is going to change. And you don't even really got to have a lot of money. If you have the perception that you got a lot of money, it's going to change overnight, dude, because a lot of women are superficial. They see you for what you can do for them. You know, that's just a feminine trait that a lot of women have, and it's okay. But I always tell dudes, get your money right. I don't care, you know, you got a 360 waves, all this other shit. Get your bread right, bro. If you 30, if you young and you 20, I'm with that. Go ahead, have your time.
Right.
But if you 30, bro, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. You shouldn't have no waves because you ain't got no time brushing your hair. You know what I'm saying? You got you counting your money, you stacking your bread, you running your business, or you working your corporate gig and running it up trying to get your promotions. Like, do your thing, bro.
Because 30 will get real.
It get real, man. I mean, you might have some kids, you might have trying to buy a house. You trying to really acquire assets. Don't nobody care about, you being cute or you having a nice haircut or you doing none of that really matters no more. They looking at your credit, they looking at your assets, they looking at your income. Income statements become your new wardrobe. So it's like, get your money right, bro. Get your assets rolling, because I don't know if you ever read the book, it's not The Way of the Superior Man. What's that other book? It's called, damn, I have to look it up. It's by Napoleon Hill. But he talk about
Think and Grow Rich?
It's not Think and Grow Rich. It's another one. It might be Think and Grow Rich. When he talk about like the sweet spot for men is like in their 40s. Mm-hmm. Like men, that's like your sweet spot, your prime years are your 40s. So at 20, you're so far away from your prime years that you're still young, wet behind the ears. 30 shit get real. You need to start acquiring assets, starting a business or have a career path that you really want to grind for the next 10 years, because once you hit 40, all your decisions from 20 to 40 is going to just
They're
they gonna tenfold. So if you've been bullshitting, if you've been slacking, if you ain't been studying, if you ain't got no skills that pay the bills, you cooked.
With that being said, what's a lie that's being told within to men or within the community that's keeping people back from getting that bread and having that bag, getting to the millions, whatever the case may be?
It's not a lie, but it's like the half truth. So a half truth could be a lie.
Facts.
So the idea that working hard is just enough. Like you can just pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and working hard. And a lot of times people don't see working hard as like maybe you're just literally sharpening your skills in one area. Maybe you are putting yourself in a position. I always tell people, put yourself in a position of privilege. That's right. We know about white privilege. We know about pretty privilege. But as a man, what privilege can you have? What privilege do you have? And I always tell people, put yourself in a position of privilege to where you can reap the benefits of all the work that you do. So a lot of times people be working hard, but they just not in the area to where they can actually reap the benefits. I look at it like this. Imagine you hooping at the court every single day at the local court. You putting your jump shots in, but you don't never go to tryouts. You don't never go to practice. You don't never go to camps. You like working hard though. You working your ass off. You got the Mamba mentality, but you at the park. And then somebody else with a swoosh Parker mentality, he busting your ass because he going to the gym. He got a trainer. He working out. So a lot of people thinking working hard is just like the best thing to do. And sometimes working hard is enough to get your foot in the door. But once you kick the door in, you don't need that strength that you needed to work hard to get something rolling. You need that tool that can open, that can open up another door. Like it's different tools that open up doors. You can kick a door down with your strength, but once that first few doors get kicked down, now you need a tool to pick the lock, bro. You need to really sharpen your skill to actually pick the lock. But if you just constantly trying to kick the lock, that motherfucker is durable. It's not going to open unless you sharpen your tools. So I always tell people, bruh, I don't care what it is. Get very good at one thing. Try to focus on one thing for 2 years and that shit'll change your life, bro.
What's your advice to finding that one thing? How do somebody figure out what they're good at, what they're great at, and what they should and not only that, figure out that they should double down on it. Right. How does somebody figure that out, in your opinion? So,
trying a lot of things is good. Trying a lot of things early is good. Don't just you can get good at anything, right? Yes. You're not going to get great at everything, but you can get good at pretty much anything. And a quote that really changed my mind is, everybody who's on top was once on the bottom or didn't even know that industry existed at all. That's like at some point, Sam Walton from Walmart, didn't have Walmart, bro. Like he didn't know what, he didn't have a retail space. He didn't have a lease. He didn't have a business or anything.
Yeah, wasn't even thinking about it.
So I always tell people, it don't really matter what you get good at the beginning of your career, but just get good at something. Because those skills that allowed you to get good and become an expert at one thing translate over to becoming an expert somewhere else. So what I mean by that is, if you are, let's say you're real good at real estate and you know the principles for real estate, you know how to evaluate a property, you know how to look at a deal and get the deal done. I got more faith in you as a real estate professional who's been killing it for 10 years, going over to the car industry and figuring that out, because a lot of the same attributes it just translate over. You're just switching a commodity, which is a car or a piece of house or a piece of land or real estate or some type of technology. But if you don't know anything, if you don't know how to do anything, just learn how to sell. If you learn how to sell, bro, it's over. That shit translates to anything.
To any industry. I wanna go into something else really quick, since we both in media. I want to ask you this: what is your thoughts on the state of media, specifically Black media right now?
Oh, Black media is cooked, bro. Like a lot of media is gonna it's time for dudes to start consolidating. It's time for people to start working together.
Yep.
It's time for people to start looking at their brand as a brand that they can take public. See, so here's the problem. A lot of us got these small ass little bitty brands, and we're always comparing ourselves to where we came from, the hood you grew up in. So your brand big compared to where you from.
Massive, right?
But when you start looking at these public entities and public companies, you're nothing.
Facts.
So I think a lot of people need to consolidate and try to work together. Why not do a big conference with 100 different people instead of you trying to do it on your own? I've done conferences on my own. Financed and spent all my fucking money on the conference, did it on my own, made the money back, but I'm just like, bro, that was a risky ass investment, bro. Yeah. Like I put up all this money, I got some of it back over time. But like my first conference, I probably lost like 40 grand the first conference.
How?
And then, just everything that goes into it, speakers.
Because I feel like people don't know
events,
what goes into
just all of that. And it's like, if I had a different media partner that's doing the same thing, then 40,000 split between 5 people ain't shit, but 40,000 for one person, that might take you out.
Facts.
If you're a new entrepreneur. So I think black media needs to consolidate. It's a lot of companies that's in trouble. They're going out of business. I would say some names, but I don't want to create no enemies.
Right.
I would say some names, but I'm gonna say this. I've been in them DMs trying to buy a lot of these. I've been in the DMs like sell it to, but people have so much pride that they don't be want to sell their pages or they don't be want to sell their brands and they don't be want to consolidate. But I've been trying to buy a few pages.
What do you think about this? Because it's something that I be thinking about a lot, right? As far as media in our community, do you feel like there's a box that we in? Because when I see other communities, right, you got philosophical media platforms like maybe a Joe Rogan or Lex Friedman. Or you might have a political podcast like a lot of people or some shit based on science. But in black media, for the most part, I ain't grouping everything. Yeah. It's usually gonna be some bullshit from pop culture.
Some bullshit, right?
Or that's gonna be like 99% of it. And then you got people like us that's talking about money, finances. But what do you feel about that in like the space we in when it comes to that?
Well, black media is ran by black women. Like, think about it, bro. Like, black media is you got the Essence of the world, the Black Enterprise of the world, Ebony's of the world, Jet. Like, all of these are brands ran by black women. A lot of black women are into the pop culture, the gossip, even like the Shade Room. I mean, the Shade Room, big platform, black women, right? So, do I expect black women to create a podcast talking about, business and entrepreneurship, this, that, and the third? I like that type of content,
right.
But a lot of times you gotta go for where your audience is going. If you come out, start talking about credit repair and all this, and ain't nobody fucking with you. But now you start talking about Cardi B, and now everybody, numbers are going up. I mean, a business person is gonna look at the analytics and make decisions based off of that.
That's
so
a fact.
I think black media is in trouble because the conversations that are being had are so low level, a sponsor don't even want to sponsor that shit, bro.
Facts.
Like, a lot of times when you are talking about good things and healthy conversations in the community, and it's not about going 50-50 on a dinner date or 50-50 on bills, it goes over people's head because a lot of our conversations require you to do something. Like, we want you to level up your life. We want you to sharpen your skills. We want you to pick up a book. When you're looking at a lot of these black media brands, they don't require you to actually level up. They just want you to consume some of the bullshit, go on about your day and cry about racism or cry about some, be a victim, right?
Facts.
That's what black media promotes today. Like, just the victim mentality. And if we just so happen to talk about, we are victims in some areas, but who gives a fuck? Let's get it, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, something happened to our father, grandparents, but they made it, bro. We still alive. Our bloodline is still alive. We're in America. Now you sound like a redneck from Alabama, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you say stuff like this, people make you feel like you are just some staunch Republican from Alabama that's like, walking around with a straw in your mouth. And it's like, no, bro, like I'm just a grown ass man. I've been through the struggles from Detroit, pulled myself up. And it's like, I know so many people who, if they really just took accountability of their own life and got out of the victim mentality, they'd be better off. But you are a reflection of what you consume. So if you're consuming all this bullshit in media, you would think the world is a lot worse than it is.
No, that's a fact. And the reason I asked that question is because I seen the clip. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I seen the clip of Tyler Perry. He was doing some show and he was talking about like men dating and going 50-50 and a man.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, why
I mean, this
Tyler,
is our billionaire. He's a billionaire.
This is
bro.
supposed to be our best and brightest and most intellectual. Why is he talking about this goofy shit?
But he's talking about it because he understands his audience is 80-90% black women. Right. That if he was talking about economics and land development, this, that, and the third, they'd check out. But he's talking about who should pay for the date. The numbers rise and go up. And Tyler Perry's the king of just portraying, like giving what his audience want. If they want to struggle, black woman, independent. Taraji and him just got a hit movie show right now on Netflix. Yes. And this ain't no shot at Tyler Perry. This is just some facts. He knows his audience. He's gonna talk to his audience at the end of the day because he gotta make his money.
That's a great point. Because when I see it, I think like, man, you don't see the founder, the CEO of NVIDIA talking about this shit. You don't see Sam Altman talking about
50-50. What the fuck? What are we talking about,
like,
bro?
And your life is so far removed from that. Like
so far,
but like you said, he know his audience. Yeah, and that's something I always gotta keep in mind. Like, but I will say this though: at one point, do you elevate past that with your audience?
See, here's the problem with black media. If you start elevating past that, you're starting to realize you need to talk to more people than just black people. Damn. So now people gonna start to see and say, oh, you Uncle Tom, you this, you ain't catering to the community, you ain't for the culture. Because once you start to elevate and you get in a lot of these rooms, you realize like, okay, if I wanna just talk directly to a black audience only, like there's certain conversations and topics that I gotta stick at.
Yeah.
But if I wanna elevate, and the minute I get to elevating and people start calling me a Tom, Uncle Tom and a coon and all of this, it's like, damn, bro. So why can't we talk about the stock split or why can't we talk about, investing in something? But I mean, at the end of the day, we have our niche lane, but I would just say just advice to you, you're bigger than black media. That would be my advice to somebody like you is like, Xavier is bigger than black media. Like Xavier is media. He just happened to be black. But when you say shit like that, people they say, oh, you don't want to be black no more? You don't want to cater to the audience no more? But at some point,
that's a fact.
You're bigger than what black media offers because, a lot of these media companies struggling. Are you familiar with TV One, Urban One?
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, they stock is, bruh.
They struggling?
They struggling. Bruh.
I didn't know that.
Bruh, they shit struggling. The whole market cap of their company is like $38 million.
Damn.
Yes, bro. It's struggling, bro.
I heard what's the
name? They need to add one of us on the board of directors,
they
bro.
They do, bro.
But that's the problem with this is the problem in black media and in the black community. We value age, bro. We don't value innovation. We don't value youth. Mark Zuckerberg would have never got an investment if he was black, bro.
Damn.
Because the community would have looked at him and, man, take your ass to school, do this. We only value youth when it's a sports phenom or it's like an artist. But when our black entrepreneurs, 17, 18, they got a big idea for an app, like how many investors, how many rich people do we have like banging on their line to trying to work with them? That's not something that's in our culture and it needs to change. But like in other communities, you see like a 17-year-old whiz kid raised $10 million just based off of his app because innovation is a young man's sport.
It is.
You have to invest in your youth if you really want to, and that's why black people dominate social media because our youth are able to express themselves and take over, but we just so happen to we don't own the platform, so we getting screwed.
No, but we talked about this off camera though. It's a lot of niggas, right? they take so long, they get on 45, 50.
Yeah.
They don't want to pass the baton to younger dudes, and they be envious and jealous of younger dudes.
Oh,
You talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
people
yeah.
that's getting rich in their 20s, getting rich in their early 30s.
Yeah.
If you ain't get on till you was 40, 45.
And which is why young black men have to flash. Which is why a lot of young black men feel like they have to show their success and pop their shit, because if you a humble young black dude, you get overlooked so much, bro. It's so sad. You get overlooked so much. And I'm not advocating for somebody to go out and buy jewelry and do this. Be responsible with your money. But I understand if I walked up to you and I'm 47, 48, and I'm a, old school corporate dude, and you telling me about all the shit you doing with your business and all of that, and I don't see nothing, I'm like,
Like, I don't believe
I don't believe that shit. But if you was riding around in a Scat Pack, Lambo, you got a diamond chain, Rolex, you got on a Miri fit, you know what I'm saying? Now people starting to take you serious.
You got social media followers,
you got that social proof.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit. That's the black tax that we have to pay.
Damn.
That other people don't have to pay. They don't have to prove that they're worth anything, because they're worth something just based off of who they are. A lot of the society don't value black men, or they don't value black people in general. So
that's a fact.
A lot of the black tax is about like trying to portray who you are, like trying to live up to that image in people's head. Cause I remember, man, I was at a conference and, I got my company and I'm doing my thing. And a young lady came up to me and was like, "Why are you back here with us?" And I'm like, "What you mean?" She like, "Ain't you James Hill from Black Millionaires? Like, don't you got this money? Don't you do this and do that?" I'm like, "Damn, I just walked in. I mean, what like," and she like, why you ain't pull up like everybody else pulling up in Lambo? Like, what you driving? Like she was an older lady. She didn't really understand. Like, you could tell she was just at the conference, like somebody dragged her there. But on one hand, I'm like, why is she pressing me like this? But on the other hand, I'm like, oh, she expected me to show up in Dior, drip down with a Rolex and a chain and this and that. She expected that. And when I showed up in just a nice little jogging fit, but my stocks going up, she don't see those stocks. So she don't really believe I'm getting what I'm really getting. And it's like, it's up to me to make that decision. Do I want to go out and pop my shit to show people? Because it's a time to pop your shit.
It is.
And it's a time to stack and be humble and, chill. But you got to know when to season. Like, you got to really balance that as a black man. And I think that's a tough challenge. A lot of people usually overdo one or the other. Either you too humble or you too flashy and you go broke.
The middle ground is hard to find.
The middle ground is very hard, because it's like when you with your family, when you with your kids, when you chilling, you want to just be that family man. You ain't got to do all of that. But sometimes when you pop out, you really got to show people like, bro, I'm getting it.
That's so important, because the unseen, specifically in our community, it is undervalued. Yes. If we don't see it,
if I don't see it,
shit ain't happening. I don't care how you could be a billionaire, but when I see you, you ain't pulling up in the car, your jewelry ain't hitting, you don't look like it. I don't care what you doing. I want to hear from this guy that may have 1 million followers, but he might be broke as hell.
He broke as fuck, bro. He can't pay his rent.
Right.
I think it was Ha Davis. I interviewed him. He said he had 1 million followers on Instagram. He couldn't pay it. Like, he was living with his mama, bro.
For real.
And he really had to learn, like, fuck this looking good on social media. I really need to get to the bag. And then he started getting to the bag, start working with Snoop Dogg, other different celebrities, people putting him on the entertainment industry. He a comedian, so he didn't really have a set. So he didn't understand the industry, but he was just going viral and, making a little money here online, but he ain't making enough money to even have his own crib. And he from the D, like, and he just like a thorough dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, like, bro, I had 1 million followers. I was broke. And now he figured it out. But it's a lot of people out there that got a big following. They just don't really know how to monetize, don't know how to make no money.
With that being said, how do you in 2025? Because I feel like every couple years, this is changing. How you made money in 2022
innovation
in media, it might be completely different right now. So, because people always ask me this question. When I tell people, man, my neighbors in my neighborhood, they be like, "So what do you do for a living?" one of my neighbors, he was like,
My neighbors think I'm selling dope.
Right.
Shout out to J.
I'm like,
Cole.
man, I own a media company. He's like, man, that's just a cover up. You must
Yeah,
be a money
right.
I'm like, no, for real. So, but because people always ask me, they say, man, how do you monetize this? And I'm like, I don't even know where to start because I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm it's gonna sound like I'm speaking a different language to you because you don't even understand this.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to people that want to get in media, that is in media already, and they trying to like get some bread from it? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say algorithms gonna change, platforms gonna change. Invest in something that's not gonna change, which is your brand. Like people fuck with you on multiple platforms because of your brand.
Mm-hmm.
You have a brand, you have an association with media or your voice or whatever you have. And if you have a brand that can translate to different platforms, you solid. So that's the only real advice I can give people, because what happened in 2020 and what worked in 2022 and what worked even after we finish this podcast, it might change. Mark Zuckerberg might press a button, the algorithm changed. Because like, think about it. AI wasn't here 3 years ago. It wasn't like a thing.
Not like this.
Everybody was talking about NFTs and the metaverse. Like that wasn't a thing. AI came out of the blue, took over. And now it's like a lot of the things that a lot of the people, like even I had to let go like three, four of my people. Cause it's like,
you don't need them.
I don't need them no more, bro. Like if AI can do 80% of the job, I'm gonna invest in AI versus a human, because I got to deal with you, your emotions, you having birthdays and all this other shit. AI ain't never taking no time off. You know what I'm saying? So AI ain't taking no birthdays, bro. AI ain't taking no time. So I would say invest in a brand. A brand is gonna, trump everything, bro.
How would you build, like, do you think it's a lot, if you was building the brand from scratch today, do you think it's super hard today, or do you think it's easier now than when it was 5-6 years ago?
It's easier to go viral because now the algorithms are so
crazy,
cookie cutter. You just say some bullshit and like right now, I already know if I just say my girl got to go 50-50, this, that, and that, I know I can go viral. It don't matter. So the algorithms are there. They're seasoned. People know how to go viral. The problem is creating a sustainable content strategy that allows you to build a brand, because the brand is nothing but constant reminding of your mission, your values, and what you stand for.
Yep.
The reason Louis, Gucci, and all of them make so much money is because they remind us every single way that they're a luxury brand and we should have their products, right? No matter what product that they sell. So I would say if you're in 2025 trying to create content, number one, start with a branding mind. And number two, get a content strategy that allows you to pump out a bunch of content. Because back in the day, it used to be quality. Like, you want to have a good quality.
Facts.
Now it's all quantity.
Facts.
Who can post up the most? It's people going viral making millions of dollars literally sitting in their car.
Yep.
And like one of my homeboys, he work in wealth management, and he always sending me clips of like influencers dancing and be like, man, what the fuck? Like, if this is what it takes to be an influencer, I don't want to do it. I'm like, bro, you just don't know. That person getting bread.
Getting crazy.
They getting crazy money. And, it's like a meme out there that say, here I am going to my broke ass 9 to 5, like my broke ass going to my 9 to 5 because I'm scared to dance on TikTok. Or like, do a little Instagram skit. And it's like, you gotta roll with the times. You have to be innovative. Be that person at the bottom who can start something. Don't be the person who is at the top of every trend and you're trying to do it once it's not hot no more. That's not going to work. You got to be that person at the bottom floor looking for the new innovative ways around the corner to pick up and build an audience. And I think using those strategies is what somebody can start with. It's different once you already have a brand and now you're trying to monetize and get some money. But like, if you really want to start, you got to be at the cutting edge, like innovate. Like you got to be at the cutting edge of what's going on. You got to know who's hot, what's the trending topics. You got to really be up on it, bro.
That's good game, bro. And I wanna segue into this real quick because we talked about this too off camera a bit, and it's about being in business, whether it's media or whatever, but being a man and being a masculine man.
Yes.
And how that is right now
attacked.
It's attacked.
Yes.
So what is your thoughts on like how men can, even from corporate, like I said, from business, entrepreneurship, how can they go through these fields and still keep they masculinity attacked? Because a lot of dudes I be seeing, they be getting feminized.
Yes.
a lot of dudes already getting the feminized through their girl.
Yeah.
You at work, you gotta tone it down, or you in your business, you gotta tone it down too.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I was just talking to somebody offline about this because one of my homeboys has a son. He's really good. He's like 6'4". He's about to go to school. He's trying to get into a good high school. And like, I'm helping him out with his letter of recommendations, with his essay, just getting everything so he can file his application, go to school, get in a great high school. But I always tell people the worst thing in the Black community is for a young Black man to grow up in the hood and be a good kid. Because what happens is a lot of these kids in the hood be fucked up. They be shooting people, robbing people, stealing. So if you're just a good kid in the hood, being raised by a single mom, and you're not causing no ruckus, you get ignored for years. You get ignored for years. Don't nobody say nothing to you. And they think you're going to be a good adult because you're a good kid. And a lot of single women raise their kids to be good kids, and they don't raise their kids to be good men because they don't know how to be a good man, because a lot of men are not around them. So that is very dangerous, to be just a good kid, because you get caught up in that. And now you're 21, 22, and now it's time to be a man, and you don't know how to actually stand up for yourself. Like me and my homeboy going back and forth. I'm like, yeah, I talked to your son. He said he need his transcripts. He said he got an interview coming up. He said he needs this. And he like, yeah, man. So his mama going, I'm like, hold on, bro. You his daddy, right? Bro, take him to get a motherfucking blazer and a shirt and tie and show him how to do an interview, bro. Take him to get his haircut. He like, he said he want to get his hair. He said he's 13, bro. He's 12. He don't have a choice, bro.
Ain't no say.
He don't have a say so.
Right.
And that's like controversial to like say, like, bro, you're a man, stand up. Young men need to be dominated, bro. Like, we need to be told what to do. You need structure. It happens in the military.
Yep.
It happens in the NBA, or it happens in sports. You have a coach. It happens in school. You might have a principal, you might have the security guard, somebody. It happens in the streets.
Somebody keeping you in check.
Somebody keeping you in check. You got the dope boys, you got the police. It happens in jail. You got the OGs, you got you see what I'm saying? Every angle of a man's life, you are being dominated and you're being told what to do until you branch out and become a man. And that's just being a male species. Even like in the animal kingdom, like that's the same thing.
There's one at the top.
It's one at the top that's showing y'all how to hunt, showing y'all how to bring home and protect the pack. Yep. That's just how it goes. So I would say like masculine energy is getting attacked because people believe that masculine energy takes away from whatever women empowerment or sometimes like they think we need one or the other. Like, we can empower women and invest in women and still have strong men and strong men around you. So like, I think that's one of the things the Democratic Party is struggling with. They can't find a strong man to represent them
at all. Like,
I thought it was going to be Cory Booker, but then somebody said Cory Booker is like I ain't gonna even say it, but you know what I'm saying? You get it. This is what I was told. I'm thinking like, okay, but then I fuck with Governor Westmore from Maryland. Stand-up guy, family man. Like, he can be that representation. But like, even when they tried to get Tim Walz, like, bro, he's not, that's not the American dream I think of. No. He ain't got no investments, bro. In his disclosure, he said, he ain't got no investments. He ain't got all he got is, I think he got a 401k, if
own nothing.
He don't own nothing. I'm like, bro, either you're lying or like, you're not the type of American man that I want to look up to represent the country. Like, America is all about capitalism, assets, accumulating wealth. Yeah. That's what we need to see.
Dominate.
That's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear about no goddamn.
But masculinity has been so devalued over the last 25 years that people don't know. They don't even know what it is, what it look like, what people want, what people
most guys
expect
can't
from
do
it.
10 push-ups, bro.
Exactly. Most dudes can't. I remember when I first was in the military, bro, it was a dude in there with us. He couldn't do 5 push-ups. His name was Smith. I'll never forget. He'd get to the second one and fall on the ground. Be like, he used to make noises and shit.
Come on, bro.
I'm trying to stop cussing. I was going to say something crazy. But yeah, so it has been extremely devalued, which is why it's gonna be some men like us that's gotta stand up, stand on their own.
We gotta make like being a stand-up guy cool. Like taking care of your family.
Facts.
Like whatever goes on and whatever goes on in your household, and if your girl have to help you out here and there, that's cool. But I'm of that camp that, bro, you get some money, I feel good taking care of a woman, bro. I feel good paying the bill. I feel good doing that, bro. If I fall off and shit get tight and she helps to help me, or you know what I'm saying? That's cool. It's good to have somebody that got your back. I'm not saying you don't want that, but all I'm saying is, you know, when we go to dinner, my wallet is closer than her purse. So I'm paying for it, bro. I want to be that guy that takes control. And my granddaddy always told me, like, you pay the bill so you can talk the most shit. Facts. Women talk to you different when when they feel like women don't be wanting men to be equal to them. They don't, bro.
Talk about it.
They don't, bro. If a woman she makes 6 figures, she has a good job, she has a great career, she looks good, she has a house, a car, and all that, and she meet a dude that has the same and equivalent, she talk to him different, bro. She don't really even like him like that. Women want to be elevated in their life.
But even if you just think about it on a basic level, when you ask most women what they want, they're going to say they want their man to make more money than them. They want their man to be taller, stronger. Obviously,
a decision maker. They want a leader.
Got degrees. All the things they're saying isn't equal to them. It's higher than what they got. They want more money, more of this, more of that.
And that's okay. And I'm of that mindset. That's okay.
That's in my opinion, that's a beautiful thing. That's how life's supposed to be.
I'm okay with that, bro. I'm completely fine with, you know, being that guy that can take care of a family and being the guy that can be a leader. You know, I don't want at 2 a.m. somebody knock on the door. I'm not sending my girl to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like that, like I don't. So, but equality would tell you that, I mean, what's wrong? Why she can't go handle the thing that ran in the bushes? Like, why? You see what I'm saying? Like, man, that's some bullshit.
They know they don't want that shit because you at the restaurant, when that check comes, they ain't no equality then. They looking at you like, hey. But I will say this though, because men got to be, because like we talked about this off camera. It's you know, they didn't shut men down so much. Dudes scared to speak up. Yes. You gotta, as a man, you gotta be willing to. I talked about this on Twitter yesterday. I said a huge part of being a man is being willing to be disliked.
Oh, of course.
That comes from your family.
Disagreeableness.
Disagreeableness.
Malcolm Gladwell talk about that in his book. For real? A lot of he's like some of the best high level entrepreneurs. One of the big traits is they're disagreeable.
You have to be, because the decisions you're gonna make, the vision decisions you're gonna make, everybody not gonna see it, everybody not gonna understand it, and everybody not gonna accept it. But in spite of that, you gotta say, no, this is what the hell we doing. When you got a kid, your kid ain't gonna like your decisions all the time, what you doing as a family.
Exactly.
You got a wife,
they're not gonna understand it.
They're not gonna understand it. When my dad used to make decisions, I'm like, man, I ain't understand it, but he the head of the house, we gotta do it. When you got a wife, it's the same way. You got business partners, employees, they don't understand every move you doing or want to do it, but they gotta do it. And you gotta, in spite of all that, you gotta be like, this what it is. Y'all ain't gotta like it, but we gotta do it.
And you gotta be okay with, like you said, you know, standing up, being in the fire, right or wrong. This is what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
And that's what a lot of kids and families need today. They need some type of role model that is going to stand up and say, this is what we're doing. This is what you're going to do. And the problem I have with the Black community is we don't dominate our kids enough, bro. Other communities be like, you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. You can have that passion shit after you become a doctor. And that's how I'm dominating my kids, bro. When I had kids and start raising my family and, you know, ask some questions at the dinner table. What are you interested in? Like, you're going to law school. Like, because lawyers run the business world. So if you claim you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to be a lawyer.
Facts.
Like that, like if you really being honest, like if you claim you want to be in business, like they run it. So like talk to me about your passion project dealing with art and all this other bullshit after you're walking across the stage and maybe you're a lawyer in that industry.
I was watching an interview with some Indian guys, and they was like, shit, you at least gotta be a lawyer or a doctor. He was like, at the very minimum, at least be a fucking accountant. He's like, that's the least you can be.
That's the least you can be,
but that's the standard they set. He was like, you gotta be a lawyer.
Our standards are just too low, bro. Like our standard. I remember my grandma, like, like when we graduated high school, she was like, yeah, you know, that was just one of my goals. It's just as long as y'all graduate high school. I'm just like, I mean, like I fuck with that, but like, damn, that's a low bar, bro. That's a low standard, man. Just graduating high school, man. Yeah, this is why all these proms are so crazy nowadays, because
we gotta talk about that.
The standard is just, you know, graduating high school and just getting by. They don't have no real goals, because a person with real goals will not justify spending $3,000 on prom, but won't spend $3,000 on an SAT prep to get into a good school, to hopefully get a good job, to make a good income, to have a good career. Like it just don't add up.
My theory is, this is just my belief. I ain't got no data statistics to back this up, but I strongly believe there is a correlation between the extravagant proms and poverty.
Oh, of course.
The more extravagant the prom is, the more that you could bank on, that's probably a family that's impoverished.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He said, yeah, of course.
Of course. Unless you at like one of these schools where it's like a private school and everybody rich and they just all driving BMWs and Rolls Royces and all that to prom because their parents got that anyway.
Right.
But that's such an anomaly that I don't even count. Like we're not even gonna count that in the statistics. We're talking about just regular people having regular situations. And I remember like kids who didn't have clean clothes, like that went to my school driving like crazy ass whips to prom. And I'm just like,
what the fuck?
Where was this at like in 9th or 10th grade? Like when you were struggling and you no child left behind. Like that's the only reason you in the 12th grade. Like let's really be honest, bro. Like you struggling, bro. You really need tutoring, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like
I know somebody personally that sold his company for almost $300 million. He sent his daughter to prom in a basic dress and a black Tahoe truck.
Oh, of course. But I guarantee she got a college fund.
Absolutely.
I guarantee she got a tutor if she needed that tutor in science in order to get her SAT up, or if she needed that tutor in writing in order to, you know, get into Harvard or Michigan or one of these top elite schools. They're going to justify spending that money. That's not even a thought. But like, bro, I didn't like when I came up, my parents didn't invest in like ACT prep and stuff like that. No, I was on my own. But prom came around, everybody was planning, and here I am talking, and I was the prom king. So like I was the prom king of my school. But like, yeah. So
here I am talking.
Here I am talking, but I didn't go I didn't do all the extravagant this and that because I really wanted to go to college. And I'm like, shit, I got to figure out how to take that next step because nobody in my family was really on that.
Right.
Everybody was clapping and just happy that I actually graduated from high school and I was a good kid. And that's why I say being a good kid in the Black community is very dangerous because you get ignored. Like bad kids get the most attention in the Black community.
They do.
You bad as hell, you running around, everybody know you about that life. They get all the attention. The good kid that just invisible. Or if you a star athlete or something, you get the attention. But those 80, 90% of the people in the middle, the good kids that's not knuckleheads, but they're not like, you know, they just kind of timid. They don't really know how to approach life. They become 22, 23. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to shake a man's hand, look them in the eyes. They don't know how to do an interview. They don't have those soft skills that you would develop when you have some type of structure and being around a man. Like it's just certain things you would know. Like I didn't know how to tie a tie growing up. I learned how to tie a tie off YouTube. Like why I didn't have a man or some type of curriculum or some type of program teaching me that. I didn't have access to that. But that don't give me an excuse once I'm 20 trying to go get a job. You got to figure it out. But a lot of these kids, they just show up in just a regular like t-shirt. Like they don't understand why they're not getting opportunities. Bruh, tighten up. But you know, that I put that on us as you know, Black men. We need to really start showing that being masculine is okay.
Like, I like something you said. You said like even though you wasn't taught that, you figured it out. Because that's an excuse that many people will use for something. They'll say, I
wasn't raised.
I was never taught this. But it was like you wasn't never taught a lot of stuff that you do right now.
We wasn't taught the iPhone. How we figured it out.
We figured it out.
Bro, Nintendo Switch, PS5, GTA, all of these things that we just figure out. All these new platforms. No, it wasn't a platform. It wasn't like a tutorial on TikTok. That shit just came and everybody jumped on. You figured it out.
Facts.
New features come out, you figured it out. Nobody taught us about Instagram. Nobody taught us about Facebook. These are things that we dedicated our time and energy to learn. You can literally learn anything.
Facts.
So the idea that you don't know how to do something is just another excuse to not do it.
To not do it. What would you say is one truth that you wish or you were hopeful that you feel like men are avoiding or running away from?
Bro, to be honest, there's nobody who's gonna like now if you're just talking about a young black man.
Period. Younger, older.
I'm gonna just speak to black men,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just speak to men in general. If you're a young black man, like a truth, just bro, like don't nobody really care about nothing you went through, bro. Like don't nobody care about none of your excuses. They don't care about it at all. They glad it happened to you and not them. Like they really don't care. And other people have different avenues and different viewpoints on like helping people out. But like you a young black man in America, dog, you got to figure that shit out, bro. And that's just why I always try to encourage people to work together, because 1 + 1 = 3. So like if you got a partner or if you got somebody you run stuff across, like y'all can all grow together. But it's hard out here, man, to try to grow and build something by yourself, bro. I built everything that I got by myself, and I've been trying to get partners. I've been trying to work with people. I've been trying to get people equity in the company to work and do this, and just people just don't see it. But I spent so long trying to convince people of my vision and my goal, and I'm just like, don't nobody give a fuck, bro. Like, don't nobody care about nothing I got going on until they see some dollar signs or some type of compensation or some type of clout attached to it. So
that's a fact.
I mean, that's why I always tell young dudes, get your money right, man. Just money's going to solve 80-90% of your problems.
Bro, you preaching, bro. What's your thoughts on this? And this probably won't apply to everybody, but specifically the people that's building on social media. What do you think about public relationships? Is this?
Oh, I mean, that's just a note. The man never comes out on top in a public relationship, bro. So if you're a man listening to this, just don't do it. I don't need to give you no reason. I don't need to give you no facts. I have no statistics behind this. But my theory is because black women run the internet.
Facts.
Like black women run the internet,
They
right?
do.
All
They
the
do.
trending topics and all of the stuff, the culture that be going on is ran by black women. Black women are loyal to women. So this woman can literally be cheating on her man or cheating on her husband, and they're going to find their way to gaslight you into thinking you were the issue. So all these men online that's doing this relationship couple stuff and doing this is just not going to end well, bro. And here's the problem.
It's not your brand.
Here's the problem. If you build an audience, if you're a man out here and you build an audience of women by catering to a woman and being this husband, boyfriend figure, if y'all break up, they're going to go to her.
Yes.
Like they're going to root for her to get a new boyfriend. Like, and if you get a new woman, they're not going to be happy for you, bro. Do you know who that YouTuber is? CJ So Cool? Are you familiar with CJ So Cool? Bro, CJ So Cool was a YouTuber who went viral for being a stepdad. Like he was just a glorified stepdad, taking care of he was dating this young lady named Dynasty or Destiny or something like that. And his whole thing was he's taking care of her kids, being a stepdad, like love, just stepping up.
That's interesting.
Relationship couples, relationship goals, whatever. The minute he broke up with her, bro, his life went to hell, bro. Like people just started canceling him, and he was the stepdad of the internet, bro. Everybody loved him. The minute he broke up with his girlfriend, bro, it was over. So like, just men, just don't do it, bro. And shout out to CJ. I don't know what he doing. I ain't really seen his content lately, but like, bro, he was one of those dudes that he had a lot of clout built up, wrapped around a woman. Think about, what is her name? Queen Aja. Queen Aja and her man built that brand together.
They did. Queen
Queen Aja became a international star. Her man, online trolling. Like he's like a nobody to people. Like people don't even acknowledge her first dude. The second dude and stepped in and just like taking the torch and just running on.
Facts.
Queen Aja, her stuff is still going on. Her fan base got stronger when she broke up with with dude.
No,
So like, just don't do the public relationships, bro. It don't really benefit nobody. It benefits the woman at the end of the day because most relationships just statistically gonna fail. And when they do fail, you're gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one cooked.
No, bro, you telling the truth, and I think a lot of dudes don't realize that when that's your brand, you gonna have mostly women following you. It's probably gonna be 80-90% of women.
Yes,
and they ain't following you because if you try to do your own thing, they ain't coming along.
They not coming along. They don't want to see you happy with somebody else, bro.
No.
They saw you happy with this girl.
They rock with her.
But now they want to see her happy because they can relate to her and losing a boyfriend, losing a husband, their boyfriend cheating. They can't relate to you. Like, and then me and you, like, we ain't about to be online looking at a CJ So Cool or one of these dudes being inspired to be a stepdad. Hell no.
Hell no. And no, you ain't. And then also another aspect of it though, I feel like when you start doing it, you got to start faking your relationship to a degree. You can't even just be y'all mad at each other. You got to fake do a skit.
Not
your relationship, a job.
And it puts a lot of pressure on dudes too, because a lot of dudes can't handle that, you know, a lot of women being like on them and like hitting their DMs. Like, cause when you show your relationship publicly, like if you a man out here, the quickest way to get a girl and get a bunch of women in your DMs is like to show that you taking care of another chick and like you know how to, you know what I'm saying, please this type of woman. Man, oh my God, your DMs are gonna flood. So it's just, and then now all that pressure is on you to be faithful and not to respond to the baddest bitches on the internet. Because, bro, let's be honest, bro. Like growing up, you ain't had access to like men wasn't wired to have access to all of these bad bitches out here, bro. You really only had access to the little local, like our granddads, they had access to the little local situations.
And
bro,
a 10-mile radius.
10 mile, if that.
If that. 5 miles.
5 miles, whatever school you went to. Bro, now the baddest bitches in Hawaii can be at your crib off a Delta flight, bro. And it's like, do you really want to have that pressure because you posting up your girl trying to, like, bro, just go into construction or something, bro. There's better ways to make money. Don't do the relationship content, bro. Just don't do it, bro.
Bro, see, I agree with you, bro. I've been telling dudes this for a long time. Like, I remember, I ain't gonna say no names, but one of my homies, I told him this. He got with a chick. He was talking to me about it. I said, bro, don't do that shit, bro. He like, why? I'm like, same reasons that you said. I'm like, bro, that shit don't end well. Your relationship gonna become a job and shit. Don't do it.
Yeah.
He went and did it. That shit they ain't even together.
And then it's a little different if you, working with your spouse and relationship content are two different things. And like people might hear this and say, well, me and my husband got a business. Like, should we not work together? No, I want y'all to work together. But relationship content and working with your spouse, building a business,
it's two different things.
Like it's way two different things. Those are not the same thing. So just so I'm clear on that, because I definitely want people to work together, and working with your husband and your wife is like a beautiful thing. But
that is. I'm glad you said that, because some people would have took it that way.
Yeah.
What's one bad or broke habit that people have that don't realize is keeping them broke?
Bro, this is a hard concept to get, but once you get it, it's so like refreshing and like life changing. You start to look at money different. If you start to look at what shit really costs you, you wouldn't buy nothing, bro. Because, this is the lesson I learned. In like 2021, bro, one of my mentors was telling me to buy NVIDIA stock. Like, buy NVIDIA. I hit on, I made like 40 grand in one day. I hit on Rocket.
Okay.
During the meme era, meme stocks, Rocket was one. Rocket, Quicken Loans was one of those stocks. So I just so happened to because I used to work there. I used to be a banker there.
I remember you told me.
I just so happened to hit on there. So my man's like, bro, take those pros and put that shit in NVIDIA. I'm telling you. I didn't even know what NVIDIA was at the time. I didn't know about chips. I kind of knew about AI a little bit, but I didn't understand like how it was going to impact the world. I bought a Rolex. Bro, if I would have put that 15 G's in NVIDIA.
How much would it be right now?
Bro, like I hate to even say it, bro. Like I probably would be up like I'd probably be up a couple hundred G's, bro, easy.
Damn.
So how much did the fucking Rolex cost me, bro? It cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, bro. Hundreds of thousands, because investors look at what principal can I put up? Mm-hmm. How can I get a return on that investment? And how can that return on that investment have a return on investment and just compound interest? So the idea, the understanding of compound interest, if you realize how much it costs you to actually spend 10,000 or 5,000 or whatever money you spend it on nonsense, bro, it's going to change your life when you really calculate what you could have done with that money. Because what people see is, well, I'm only spending $1,000 on this. It's like, well, what could you do with that money? And that hurts me sometimes, because every time I want to buy something, I always think about, well, shit, I can just do this option play real quick and do the, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, if you make 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 on the option, well, now it's like, well, damn, I could just reinvest that. Like when do you actually take the money out and enjoy yourself? So that's a hard thing that I'm dealing with, is constantly reinvesting the money, constantly. Like, when do you actually go on that trip? When do you, take your girl shopping, doing this and that? Because
it's hard to figure out.
It's hard to figure out, because that shopping spree right now could cost you couple $100,000, sometimes millions of dollars.
Because it's something right now that you could pay $5K in 3 years.
Like, I missed on crypto. I know you was early in that shit. Bro, I knew a dude when I was a banker, when crypto hit 10K, he was like celebrating, running around. Like,
so that was me.
He was running around, bro. Like, and I was a banker in 2018. Like, if I would have got in crypto at 10 G's, like, think about it, bro. I would have been on that shit 100,000 now. I would have 10X whatever I had. Like, easy. That was
me, bro. I still remember when you said that, you gave me a flashback, because I got in Bitcoin when it was 3,000.
Damn.
And,
Ooh, yes, and I love it.
I remember when it hit 20, being at work in the office, in the meeting, in the military, my phone going off. Because at this time, I'm telling everybody. I ain't even on social media at this time. I'm telling everybody, like, bro, buy Bitcoin. Niggas like, man, ain't that a scam?
Yeah.
So I remember sitting in the office, I could just feel my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? Is it an emergency? I look, I step out, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I step outside in the hallway, people text me, damn, you see this Bitcoin shit? I'm like, what happened? I go to my app.
That bitch going
crazy. I run outside. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I really called everybody then.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, I told y'all. So I know firsthand.
Yeah, it's hard to spend money when you understand the value of compounding money, because that's really what all Warren Buffett did. Yep. Like, he made great investments, he compounded the money, and he just never sold his stock. So eventually that 10, 12%, and he 97 or 96 years old. So he been compounding for 60 years. If you compound for 60 years at 10%, bro, you're going to be a billionaire.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, it's just the law of numbers. That's just how money works. But that's just something I'll like calculate really what the shit costs, bro. Like, what it costs you in mental energy, what it costs you in time, what it costs you in capital. Because if you just want to make money, there's cleaner and easier ways to make money versus, what you're trying to do. Because, like, I'm not really even though I was a mortgage banker, I'm not really a big advocate that everybody should be flipping houses or in real estate and shit like that. Like, I don't think people really calculate the cost when it comes to doing that type of investing. And like, I know you've been a landlord before, so you know the mental energy and a lot of the bullshit that comes with it. Bullshit. So there's other ways to make money, but I'm not saying don't get in real estate, obviously, but I'm saying calculate the cost. Like, get your real return on investment, because people don't know how to calculate that.
This is the final thing I got for you. Do you experience, or have you ever experienced survivor's remorse? Is that something you go through?
Oh man, I experience that shit all the time,
really?
Bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you a trick that I do to like kind of get over it is, if I want to make a big purchase, I want to make a big investment, if I want to do something, I'll just like do something for like one of my family members or something, or do something for somebody that I don't really know like that. Cause like, for example, a lot of people don't know, like, I was homeless in college, bro. Like, when I got out of the hood, I went up, got a dorm, did my whole thing. And then I didn't do my FAFSA for the following semester, because I didn't go to college right out of school. You know how you go by like per semester. Mm-hmm. I went like the winter semester and I skipped the fall semester. So I only had half a year of FAFSA. So but I'm thinking my FAFSA translate to the next year because you do it every year. I missed out on the deadline, some shit like that. Lost my dorm. I'm sleeping like on the floor in a dorm room with some chicks that I had just met type shit. And like my uncle, he had just got out of jail, dog, and he had promised me when I was like 16 and 17, he was gonna give me a car. And I'm like, Uncle ain't about to give me shit. I'm homeless, I'm struggling, like working 2-3 jobs. And he called me one day and he gave me a car. And that shit changed my life because I was able to go get an apartment. I was able to go get a better job. I was able to start stacking my money, saving. I got out of, I was able to fuck with some hoes because, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? Now I can move around. I got a place to stay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I got some stuff and now my self-esteem is going good. I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I got a girl now, all of this. But like when I was fucked up, I couldn't do none of that because I'm sleeping on some, I'm living out of somebody's closet in a dorm, bro. Some girls I don't even know like that.
Right.
They just so happen to let me live. And like,
that's crazy.
So now like I want to make a big purchase. I want to splurge. I want to do something for myself. So I just said, anybody in my family who's about to graduate from high school, going to college, if you bring me some good grades the second year and you move away from Detroit, because I think you should move. Growing up in
from
the hood
Detroit
like
or
that.
from anywhere?
Just if you grew up in the hood, like how I grew up, I think you should move out your hometown. Even if it's a couple hours away, you need to get a new perspective. So you got to go to college. You got to get a new perspective. So move away and go to college. And if you got good grades, I told him I'll buy your car. Just to return a favor to my uncle, because my uncle died like 3 years ago.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
So like, I'm going to just return the favor. Like, I'm going to do that. And that's kind of like that's how I kind of get over the survivor's remorse. Like, damn, man, like I'm the only one that made it, bro.
For real?
Like from my high school, like, bro, I don't know nobody who 31 and a millionaire, bro. I don't know nobody, bro. I don't know nobody who's 41.
Damn.
Like, I don't know nobody, bro, like who getting it, like, and I can, bro, I got lucky, bro. Like, I was at the dice games when it was 15 guns right there and niggas up the guns and do that. I was right there. I got lucky, bro. Like, I never was a fuck nigga. I never was a street dude who was like in the way, but I was in the way because of, it's hard to be not in the way.
It's hard to not be in the way.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just living your life.
Your life, bro. Your friend that you grew up with is in the trap house. You go over there just hanging out with him. You don't know, like, he's serving, doing it. Mm-hmm. Police run up in there. Y'all both going to jail. They don't want to hear that you a straight A student. No. They ain't trying to hear that. So like, that survivor remorse is hard, man. Like, but the way I get over is, if I want to do something for myself, I do something for somebody else, and it makes me feel good about that. So
that's hard, bro.
Even if it's something, it ain't even got to be that big, but I do something like for other people. That's how I kind of cope with it.
Yeah, that's hard, bro. And before we wrap up, bro, I want to say, I want to give you your flowers, man, because what you built, it's amazing, bro. That ain't something that's easy to do or something that obviously many people have done.
I appreciate that.
And and you giving back, and you giving a lot of value and information that's helping. You have no idea how many lives you didn't help change, how many people you didn't help elevated just based on your platform and how you helping people by giving back that information. So I got to give you your flowers for that.
I appreciate it, man. You get some good game too. I always say, man, Xavier dangerous, man, because like, I don't agree with too many niggas too. I'm like, I be agreeing with this nigga too much, man. He be speaking some game, man. So I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. Thank you. I rock with your platform. I rock with what you do. And the one thing I like about you is like you thorough with it, bro. Like you ain't gotta have no gimmicks and this and that. Like you kind of had a viral tweet about that. Like, bro, like I really made millions without compromising myself and doing some weird shit. Like, and that's hard to do with integrity, bro. Like,
especially in media.
It's hard to be, especially in media. Oh my God. Like, it's so easy to just start catering to lying to people and lying. The easiest finesse on the internet is just lying to black women. That's the easiest finesse on. All you got to do is just lie to black women, come out with a book, come out with something.
Say some bullshit.
Easy. Say some bullshit.
Yeah. So say, yeah, for real. gas them up.
Gas them up, bro. That's the easiest shit, bro. But
Damn.
I definitely appreciate the flowers because people don't really try to
Bro,
overlook us, bro.
They do.
They try to overlook us
So
a lot.
That's
man.
why I've always been the person. I'm pro giving somebody their props, giving them their flowers, because like you just said, people will overlook. They try to play you, especially when you're younger, bro. People don't want to tell you like, bro, you doing it, bro. You keep that shit up. Everybody kind of they really waiting on you to fall.
They really waiting on you to fall, bro. Yes.
Yes, they really waiting on. So I definitely want to tell you that. Before we wrap up, plug all your stuff, bro, where people can find you, where they can follow you, where they can tap in with everything you got going on.
If you rock with me, James Hill TV on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram, Twitter. If you want to rock with the brand, go to Black Millionaires _ on Instagram. That's our biggest platform. We just hit 1 million in April. We're building on YouTube, Black Millionaires, and we're active on Twitter as well. So check us out.
And as for me, I'm on all platforms at Xavier C. Miller and the Millionaire Mindsets Podcast. That's everywhere. And that's all I got for this episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you guys next episode. Peace.